Good evening. I am good. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Hey, Ramesh. Good. Yeah. How's going everything, guys? How was the day? Nice. Good to hear. Okay. Is that so that again this virus is coming back? Is that true? Yeah. Nasty. Yeah, Smita. Maybe that read replica might not be available for that DP. That's all. In Karnool, second wave. Huh? Okay. Yeah. Be careful. Okay, so let's jump on. So did you finish your RDS practicals? Really? Really? You guys are too serious then. Completed? Very good. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so the next topic what I had in my mind is like, guys, there are few topics that we guys, all the database concepts like uh, RDS, Elastic Cache, all these are like, rich. All these are like, same things, like same concepts itself, right? Do you know that on RDS, theoretically, we discuss read replicas and multi-AZ, yes or no? And rest everything is on the spot from the console, right? Do you agree? Yeah. So mostly databases are all like, whatever, if you go directly to the console, you will be able to understand completely. There are few database like Elastic Cache. Guys, what is that? Elastic Cache. So Elastic Cache is again completely handled by the developers again, right? But what we see is we'll see what is Elastic Cache, what are the components that it has, and how to create that, and then what is that exactly. We'll say a little bit deeper inside it. What do you say? Should we go ahead and then let's do that Elastic Cache? By the way, guys, what do you mean about? Do you remember Elastic Cache? I remember that I got this. Do you remember this Elastic Cache concept? Yeah. Okay. So Ram, you are here. Are you here, Ram? Okay. Oh yeah. Do you remember that I took to you as an example here? Nice. So yeah, good. So I'll just recap on what we have discussed on Elastic Cache. Guys, cache meaning what? Frequently accessed data is stored at this place. What is this place called? Cache. If you're accessing it frequently, right? And why you want to go and access that frequently again and again at the same place? Yeah, just keep that what all you're frequently accessing in one place instead of going to far away. Just keep it in one place, and that will be cached. That is called cache. And why we need Elastic Cache is, let's say, for example, here, I took Ram as an example as a client. And whenever he opened Amazon.com, he is searching for the mobiles. Whenever he search for the mobiles, it request will go to the application server, and application server will talk to the database server. And database server will get the data from the hard disk. And if he asking for the same data again and again, this guy will pissed off, right? Database server and then hard disk. So instead of that, again going with the same thing and getting the same data again and again, now you keep all the data from your database to your something engine called cache. You can put all your frequently accessed data in the cache. that is called cache, in-memory cache service. And here in this cache memory, we have two types of engines. Guys, like RDS, how do we have 6 engines? The same way here in Elastic Cache, we have 2 engines. What are those? Redis and Memcached. What are those guys? Redis and Memcached. Redis and Memcached. So now it's a developer responsibility that to synchronize the data from your database to this cache, and then application server will go to the database directly anymore? No. From now onwards, the application server will get the code from this memory, from this Redis or Memcached, and then you will get the details here back. Do you understand the overall concept? Why you are doing this caching purpose? Why? What is the actually end result? You will get high performance. You'll get high performance. Guys, is this clear? We have discussed this already before. Okay. Now let us go and discuss a little bit deeper on Elastic Cache. All right, so let's go ahead and then quickly do this. Okay. This is called Elastic Cache. Okay, what is this Elastic Cache? If anyone asks you what is Elastic Cache and then how it works and all, what's the definition? This is an in-memory database caching service. In-memory database caching service. It's an in-memory database caching service. And what is a cache? I have already written there, but I'll do it again for you. What is cache? All frequently accessed data is stored at this place. Okay, guys. See, how do we architect this Elastic Cache is like this. Let's say this is your application. This is your application, guys. And this application will be connecting to your definitely a database, like in the backend RDS. Okay. This is the application, and this is the RDS. Okay. And in between, you'll have a Elastic Cache. In between, you have the Elastic Cache, guys. Elastic Cache. Nice. So this is architecture, guys. See here, application, guys. First, we'll contact which one, RDS or Elastic Cache? Elastic Cache, right? So when the application hit the Elastic Cache, first we'll say, hey, do you have this data, Elastic Cache? So application will ask. So application developers has to write a code in order to connect to this Elastic Cache using endpoints, right? So here, okay, when the cache is hit, perfectly, what it says, Elastic Cache will return the data back to the application. So this application has to go to the RDS, guys. If the cache is hit in the Elastic Cache, no need. Okay, good. So let's consider now if the cache is missed. If the cache is missed, that meaning the data what you are requesting is not there in Elastic Cache. Will that it go empty back to the application? Definitely no. What will happen is if the cache is missed, application will go and get the data from the RDS. Application will go and get the data from the RDS, guys. So this one you will be writing in your code in the application. So basically, this will read from RDS. Read from RDS. Okay. So RDS will be responding back to the application that whatever it is expecting. That is good. And you know what this application will do? This application, whatever the cache is missed and it got from the RDS, this application will go and write to the Elastic Cache again. So that next time it no need to go to the RDS. So because all the data will you get it from here itself. Write to the cache. This is write to the cache. You understood the architecture, guys? Everyone? Super. Nice catch. Okay, so now question for you. Guys, you might be getting 1 or 2 questions only in Elastic Cache or sometimes nothing. Okay. One question for you here is, so this Elastic Cache is mostly used for read purpose. This caching will be used mostly for read purpose or write purpose? You tell me this. Excellent. That is the certification question. So guys, Elastic Cache is mostly used for read purpose. Elastic Cache is mostly used for read purpose. Right? So there will be a question for you. If at all, like guys, if you want to increase the performance of your database, what do you choose? Elastic Cache. Remember, in RDS, you can choose read replicas. But guys, read replicas, you can only read. Can you write? You cannot write it. But in Elastic Cache, you can read and you can write also. But also one more disadvantage on RDS is, RDS, how many read replicas you can create, guys? Only 5 read replicas you can create. Only 5. But here, guys, if you put Elastic Cache, guys, remember, Elastic Cache is mostly used for read purpose. If you want to, let's say you have an application directly talking to the RDS, and it says slow, slow, slow. And you will be going for 5 read replicas. Again, slow, slow, slow. And what is the best thing? You put this Elastic Cache in between, and application will be connected to the Elastic Cache, and then the developers, they will synchronize whatever the data from RDS to your Elastic Cache, or you can read it from RDS and put it right into the Elastic Cache. So if you put Elastic Cache in between, the application no need to go and get the details from the RDS. It will directly hit the Elastic Cache. So if you are hitting the Elastic Cache in between, everything is cached, your performance will be very high. So if you want to increase the performance, choose Elastic Cache. Do you agree? If you want to increase the performance, choose Elastic Cache. Choose Elastic Cache. Make sense? Nice. And I'll tell you the another certification question also, what you will get it, if at all if you get it from here. And this, guys, developers, do you know about this? You use this session data. Yes or no? Developers, you have session data, right? You manage the session data in cookies or some tokens and all, right? Yeah. But the thing is here, yeah, caching. You are using caching, na, Amita, right? Everyone, developers, and you can do the caching this session. Whatever the user session data can be cached or here in Elastic Cache also. You don't need to go for tokens, and then you don't need to go for storing this as a session data in a temporary location. You can go ahead and then store this user session data in Elastic Cache as well. That is the advantage, and that is a certification question too. So Elastic Cache is also used for storing user session data. So whenever you want, you can it user session data which is stored in the Elastic Cache, and you can reuse it in your applications. Okay. And also, this Elastic Cache is not RDBMS, guys. It's a key value store. It's kind of NoSQL database. So, is the Elastic Cache is key value store data. Whatever the data it is storing is based on the key and value based. Don't worry, I'll talk more about SQL in coming, little bit more on SQL, NoSQL in next coming services. Guys, is this clear till here, everyone? Yes, it is on the application level. Yeah. Nice. I told you, right, there are few services where which will be used by the developers, guys, but we should not skip them. We should learn them at least, right? At least to get some idea on it, and then at least you should you should just a second, guys. I will come back. Can you give me a minute, please? Thank you. Hmm. Okay, I'm done with that guy. Yeah. Okay. So what are the two engines that this support, guys? Elastic Cache. Redis and Memcache. So I have already told you which one is most commonly used. Redis. So because why? I told you already that this guy Redis supports high availability. Redis supports high availability and it supports failover concept. And you can it supports backup, and data is persistent also. Data is persistent. Data is persistent meaning what, guys? See, Elastic Cache is a database. It's a database. How do we have RDS DB instance? The same way here also we'll have Elastic Cache DB instance. Okay, and then whenever you stop and start the whenever you stop and start the Elastic Cache, if you are using Redis, all the data will be there. Even though it is in-memory caching service, your Elastic, if this Redis will act as a database completely. If you stop and start it, data will be still there. But whereas coming to the Memcached, it doesn't support failovers, it doesn't support HA, right? It doesn't support HA, right? No failover concept, no backups, right? And data is not persistent. Data is not persistent. Data is not persistent, guys. So if you can say that, then what is the reason of having this Memcached? Guys, there might be a reason where their environment doesn't need any failovers, doesn't need any high availability, doesn't need the data to be persistent there, right? It's based on the requirement they choose it. So most of the time people go with the Redis. Guys, those who know Spring Boot, Java and all, they might have heard about Redis already. Anyone from developers, did you heard about Redis already? So this will be mostly used by the developers to store the data in caching. Okay, so as people go more about the Redis, Memcache is very simple to create it, guys. It's very damn simple. Everything is completely managed by AWS. So in Redis, we have a small concept. Let's talk about that on Redis side. So Redis. Okay, guys, in general, what is the meaning of cluster? We have a concept called cluster mode enable. Group of what? Group of what? Yeah. Group of servers. Okay. Group of servers. Nice. So here, cluster. So what is the meaning of cluster here? Instead of calling it as group of servers, okay, collection of servers. Now here you should call it as collection of shards. What is that? Collection of shards. What is a shard? What is a shard? Shard is a collection of nodes. The servers are nodes, both are same, na? You can call it as shard is a collection of node, or you can call it as servers. Please think you will understand this here. Right? What is a cluster? Cluster is a collection of shards. What is one shard? Shard is again collection of nodes or servers here, right? So here, don't worry, I'll make you understand. Here, each shard has 6 nodes. In that, one is always primary and 5 are replica nodes. 5 are replica. Guys, can you tell me here what is cluster? Everyone, can you write there? What is cluster? Collection of everyone shards. What is that? Collection of shards. And what is a shard? Shard is a collection of nodes. Shard is a collection of nodes. Okay, can you tell me in each shard how many nodes are there in total? 6 nodes. In this 6 node, how many primaries? 1 primary. How many replicas? 5 replicas. Let me show you in diagrammatic way. So I'm going for cluster mode enable concept, right? Cluster mode enable. So this is the cluster. This is a cluster, guys. Inside this cluster, this is a cluster. What is there inside the cluster? What is a cluster? Cluster is a collection of shards. So here I'll go with the shard. This is collection of shards. So I'll just put 2 shards because I don't have much space here. Let's say, for example, I have 2 shards here. This is one shard. This is one shard. And this is another shard. Okay. I can have multiple shards now in this cluster. Okay. In this shard contains how many nodes? Total 6 nodes. That too, one is primary and rest are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that, this guy is always one primary, and these are all replicas. These are all replicas. And one primary, these are all replicas. How many maximum replicas? 5. But you can have 1, 2, 3, 4. How much ever you want, you can have this. Okay. So this is one shard. And again the same thing here, like this. You got it? One primary and 5 nodes. One primary and 5 replicas. And if you want one replica, go for it. If you want 2 replica, go for it. Based on the requirement and based on the load, you need to go for number of replicas there. You understand the concept of shard and cluster and nodes and all? And that each node will have the Redis engine. Each node will have the Redis engine there. Okay, now this side cluster mode is disabled. So cluster mode is disabled here. If it is cluster mode is disabled, how many shards you will have it? Cluster meaning only one shard you will have it. So I can go take this one. It can have only one shard because it is cluster mode is disabled. Cluster mode is disabled. In this concept, you have always, guys, one primary and 5 replicas concept. Guys, is this clear, everyone? Guys, everyone clear? So this is what you need to know about this Elastic Cache. So in Elastic Cache, mainly you have 2 engines, Redis and Memcache, right? And so we know what is cache and what is caching, what is Elastic Cache, and then how does this what we have discussed, like once the cache is hit, cache miss, read from DB and write to the cache. And we have discussed about user session data. And guys, this is the sample code, PHP code that I have took from the Google. How to use this user session store, how to store the user sessions data, how to store the user sessions data here. So those who know the coding, see there, that is a PHP file. So you are talking here, say session.save handler. You are giving some Redis cluster name, and seed is this is the cluster minus discovery minus endpoint. This is a cluster endpoint that you created and timeout, etc., failover. So this is the piece of the code where you can go and do the user session store on the Elastic Cache. Guys, Elastic Cache is all about the code here, how you code it on your application level. So you can store your user session data using this concept. You can easily get the snippets in from the Google, whichever language that you want, Java, Python, whatever it is. And we know Memcache and Redis, we have 2, and both are key value store. Both are key value store. And then we discuss about the shards. We discuss about the number of root replicas, right? And this supports encryption, right? All these are all normal things. And here important thing is, guys, patterns. Elastic Cache, guys, patterns. There are 2 types of strategies that you want to use it for Elastic Cache. One is called lazy loading and another one is called write through. What is that? Lazy loading and write through. Which one is the lazy loading? Right? Lazy loading meaning here the same thing what we have discussed till now. Same. So okay, here. So the lazy loading is basically is the one where we have discussed. In lazy loading, guys, will you write to the Elasticache and RDS parallelly? You tell me that. No. First, you have the data on RDS and directly whenever if there is any cache on the Elasticache, right, the data will be retrieved from the Elasticache. If cache is missed, then only you read it from the RDS and then you will write it. This concept is called lazy loading. You're not doing both parallel, you're not writing it parallelly. But if you go for write through, you are parallelly hitting the cache as well as you are parallelly writing the DB and you are parallelly writing to the Elasticache. This is called write through. So basically, guys, you can choose either of those based on your requirement. If you don't want to parallelly write everything to the Elasticache and RDS parallelly, that's fine. Go for whenever it requires, you can go and update the Elasticache. You understood now, guys? Lazy loading and write through. Yes, Amita and Kalyani. Yeah. How about Amita? You have asked. Lazy loading meaning whenever you need, you update it. Write through meaning you parallelly update it on your Elasticache. See, this is a sample code that I have took again. See here. This is the Python code. So name is equal to Kevin something, and this is a write through strategy, and this is the lazy loading strategy. See how it is. What is write through meaning? You are parallelly putting the data uh, uh, pagination. That is different. In the development, I know lazy loading means loading data one by one, like page. No, but that's not. That's a different thing, Amita. Yeah. Write through meaning here, guys. Write through meaning. I told you that write through meaning both in your database and your cache. You are putting both. See here, write through meaning you are saving this user details name Kevin something in your DB as well as you are setting the cache also here. You're doing both here. That is called write through. Whereas in lazy loading, first you will hit the cache. If not, if the record is not getting loaded, if you don't get it from the cache, then go and get it from the DB. Select star from users here. This is called lazy load. So based on the requirement, you go with this write through or lazy load. Guys, everyone understood about this write through and lazy load concepts? This is little bit related to development. Should we go and quickly see how this looks in our console? Okay. Mhm. Okay. So, guys, Elasticache is still regional. Let's go to this Elasticache. Okay. Same concept, guys. Same concept. Reserving, taking the backup, parameter groups. You can create users from here itself and events. Nothing much. So here, you need to launch a cluster and connect to it and then manage it. So if you need Memcache related documentation and Redis documentation, you still can find it out here. Okay, get started now. Okay, guys, let's go and see what are the options that we have. It's very simple. It's not complicated at all like RDS. So it is very simple here. Let's go with Memcached. What are the options that you get it, guys? Memcached, okay, choose the location. If you want to use it in Amazon Cloud, of course. And if you want to use it in on-premises, you can go for that. So let's go for this Amazon Cloud for your Elastic Cache instances. If you have everything in AWS itself, you can go with this location and give some name here, give the engine details, and the port number for your Memcached is 11211, right? And then parameter gives and node type. Guys, I told you, this Memcache has to be installed on some node, right? Automatically, where it will be installed. So what node type that you need? Node type is same as like your instance type. What's that? Node type is same as your instance type. How much ever you want, you can just select it. You can memory and then you will get it over here. Select that and number of nodes. How many number of nodes that you need it to handle this Memcached? I think maximum 20 you can create it. Really? Okay, maximum 20. And how many you want? You select this and advanced, same thing, normal thing, SNS notification if you want it, and then create it, guys. See, isn't it super easy? There is nothing much here in Memcached. If you have a requirement, in your company to create a Memcached, there is no big networking, there is no big architecture here. Just select this. We have discussed about the what is Memcached and what is it used for, and you just go and click select this, and then only the node type you need to select and how many nodes that you want you need to select. That's all, and then create it. That is on this Memcache. Coming to the Redis, I told you Redis is supports this multi-AZ and auto failovers and everything. You can go with cluster mode enable or cluster mode disable. Let's see, I'll go with cluster mode disable concept, right? Give the name, description, port number, all the things, which node type. And guys, if you're going cluster mode disable, meaning definitely there will be a one shard itself, right? One shard concept. Cluster mode disable meaning one shard. In one shard, how many nodes you can have it? 6 nodes. And here it is, how many primaries that you can have? Only one primary. And how many replicas? 5. So guys, here you are asking, it is asking how many replicas that you need for your Redis cluster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maximum 5 you can create. Do you remember the concept of multi-AZ in RDS? What is this multi-AZ used for? Ha, for ha, huh? Ha. For high availability. Okay. For the high availability concept. For the for high availability concept, right? Not for the low latency. Low latency meaning that's different. Will you get a low latency if you go for high availability? High availability is for yeah. For low latency, you need to go for read replicas and all. So if you want to enable multi-AZ concept, and then same thing, enable encryption that you need. And if you have any data in S3, you can import it, and then backups, you enable it, and then create it. See how easy it is. And if I go with the cluster mode enable concept, how many number of shards that you need? That's the only difference. That's the only thing that will get added. How many number of shards? Guys, you can go all the way to 90. All the way to 90. See how many stars? 90. That is too much. That is too much, right? You can go for 250 also if AWS allows you. But go for 1 shard if you need. Okay, let's say go for 5 shards. And guys, in each shard, how many replicas you can have? In each shard, 5. So you put 5 or 3 or whatever you need. Select that. And if you select that, and here you have 5 shards and each replicas, 3 replicas and 1 primary. See, and equal distribution, or you can choose specify availability zones. Your primary should be in which availability zone, replica should be in which availability zone. You can select it. It's up to you basically. and rest everything, enable automated backups and then create it. Do you understand how to create Elastic cluster, guys? Everyone? I don't want to give you any practicals over here because it's nothing much to do. But if you really want to create it, it will take a lot of time to create it. But if you really want to create it, guys, don't go with the Redis. Don't enable any cluster, and just give something name called test my Redis something my Redis cluster, and then node type C. Node type, you need to find out which one is Elastic Cache, AWS Elastic Cache free tier. Let's see which is the free tier. Yeah. So renew custom T2 micro. So we need to go for T2 micro if at all you need. Right. Go to T2 and you have a T2 micro and save. And how many replicas that you need? You need to know. And do you need a multi-AZ? Don't do that. So if at all you need to do, you can create it. Enable automatic backups, number of days retention 1, and then. So would you like to create this? No, it's of no use. So and actions and all, guys, same concepts. Backup, modify, reboot, you can set up, and then you have something called global data store, guys. Global data store meaning here you can create a Redis cluster and you can put it in multiple regions actually, right? You can be in global, create a new regional cluster. It can be used globally here. The same concepts again here. And if you want to update any patches inside your Redis cluster, select this and then apply. Select this and then apply. We don't have any cluster, that's apply one is disabled here. And you can go and reserve it if you need 1 or 3 years, and you can take the backup. And then parameter groups is, I told you that yesterday on the RDS, you can set some float, integer, some basically this global schemas. User management, you can create an users here itself, guys, to maintain your Redis cluster. You can create a user and then you can assign who want to access your cluster. You can create a groups out of it, and then events, and if you want to connect. I don't, but if you really want to, let's say Python connect to Redis. So developers, if you want to really want to connect to this, you want to do the caching with Redis, the session caching, see, you can go with this, but I don't want to go because we have a non-developers here, which they are not interested. So this is once you set up this, once you set up the Redis cluster, you will have the endpoint like this, the same concept. See, you will have a Redis endpoint. You take that endpoint and then start connect to it. Redis URL like this. If at all you need. I'm putting it here if at all you need, guys. Guys, is that clear on this Elastic Cache concept? Everyone? Don't worry, you will not get any questions out of what we have done. But the only thing is, whatever I have written, keep this in mind that these, if at all you get it, you will get it from this paint itself. But if you want to really work, So you know about the elastic cache when you want to put this, when you want to architect this. So if you have any such kind of use cases in your actual real-time environment, if you want to increase the performance, you can propose that there is a concept called elastic cache, and all the application can get the data from the elastic cache. This concept, you can explain it. Let's take the photos. Done. Excellent. Great. So guys, if you want to do a small practicals, I show you that right, how to create it. So make sure that you use T2 micro and then start creating it if at all you need. And then you can see that endpoint and you can try to do that endpoint. Guys, can you give me a final CC for today on this topic? Elastic cache. Excellent. Guys, that is all. Tomorrow we have class. Yeah. Tomorrow we have class. Yeah, tomorrow we have class. Guys, that is all for today, and I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and good night.